That's absolutely critical for me. It's a, and also the cost is lower than in most other places, which is certainly a big help.
For sure. And I always tell my clients, it's not cheap, it's affordable. So there's a key relative word used there.
I thought of a number of places to be, and Mexico seemed the most convenient. Also, my family can get there easily to visit me. I can get back and forth to the States. It's very simple.
Can you describe how our team and everyone who you worked with us, consular phase interviews that linked to Mexico, how did you feel that support was for you?
Well, so far it's gone very, very smoothly. The advice that I got was accurate, and it went very well. Getting my visa. We'll see what happens as we go forward, because there's still a lot left to be done.
Yeah. Moments when you realized how different your experience would have been if you didn't have any support at all?
No, I never had that experience. So far, that hasn't happened. I felt that I had the ability to get the information that I needed at any time. So it's been a fine experience so far. Looking forward to actually being there and having an opportunity to experience what we've been expecting and what we've been told.
Oh. And if you're listening through our Relocate podcast on Spotify, a warm welcome to you too as well. If you're new here, I am Lottie. I am a lawyer, a realtor, and also a relocation success manager who's been living in Mexico for quite some time now, I would say. We help you live better abroad. And in this series of Get to Be an Expert as an Expert, today we have an amazing guest client who is here to share his success story and also bespoke relocation journey abroad. Remember, YouTube now has a hype button you can use up to 3 times a week to videos you enjoy. This episode will surely add value to your expert journey, and so hit that hype button please now and subscribe. It's a cool way to support our channel and help people discover life abroad. Thank you, Kenneth, for agreeing to share your relocation journey with us here today at Experts Living Abroad. This interview is designed to highlight your real experience in others who are also considering life abroad and showcase how fully managed, strategic, and also approach we've used to transform your life and also overwhelming process into a seamless one as well. So introduce yourself, Kenneth, to the viewers.
Hello, excuse me. I'm Kenneth Wincorn, and I go by Ken. I live in Dallas, Texas, and originally from Washington, D.C. And I've been right now I'm 81 years old. So I've had a lot of experience so far.
81 years young, I would say. You tell us where you're from, where are you in the stage of life and where you're relocating to, tell the viewers, what made you consider this journey. What was your life, day-to-day life in the US prior to thinking about relocating, and also what sparked the idea to move abroad to Mexico?
Well, my life in the United States has been fantastic. I've had a tremendous experience. I've been very, very fortunate. Been married for 38 years to my first wife, who died very unfortunately, but we had a wonderful relationship. And I have a new wife that I'm looking forward to having with me in Mexico. What triggered this? Well, first of all, I've had a fantastic time in Mexico over the years. Been fortunate enough to have had acquaintances in Mexico. My father's best friend was the ambassador from Mexico for about 14 years. He was the longest lasting ambassador, I think, in the United States, longest tenure in his position. And we used to travel to Mexico every year and had an absolutely marvelous time. Since then, I've been there many, many times in business and also for pleasure, going to weddings and friends' celebrations. And what triggered this actually was that my wife is from Nigeria and having a major problem getting her into the United States. And we started thinking, where in the world could we be? Because we want to be together. And we're raising a 10-year-old, so we need to have a place to go that's safe, but also one that we really enjoy. And also because she's getting her doctor's degree, and so PhD, and a place where she could do that. And Mexico was the place that we chose.
That's a wonderful story, and thank you for sharing it with us today. And like I said, you haven't mentioned you're actually also an attorney, so don't be shy
Yes.
to
Okay.
So about,
All right.
yeah,
Well,
it's
I'm
okay.
an attorney. I've been practicing now for 52 years. Started my firm 52 years ago, and it's been in continuous business ever since. It's still doing quite well, and it's an international firm. And I'm also the CEO of a medical company, and we manufacture pharmaceutical instruments. The things that when you go to the dentist, things that frighten you, those instruments that look like instruments of torture on the tray. Many of them are made by the company that I have, and also surgical instruments for operations around the world. We do it. This is a worldwide operation. So I have a few things that I'm doing.
Quite inspiring indeed. Talk about the decision and strategy phase as well. What were your primary goals before or behind your move? So is it lifestyle, like you said, financial planning, long-term security, family future, investment opportunities, or a combination of everything I've mentioned?
It's a combination of all of those. I expect to do quite a bit of work in Mexico, also Central America. Mexico is very central to that. I expect to be dividing my time between the United States and Mexico, and I expect to be going quite a bit to Saudi Arabia and the UAE and a number of other countries, most of Asia and to Europe. So I have to have a place where I can get easily to an airport and I can get where I need to go.
Well, wondering where in Mexico? Drum roll, please. Moved to sunny Merida. If you've not heard of Merida, it's a beautiful sunny city in central Yucatan, and it's actually one of the safest cities in North America after Quebec in North America in Canada. So Merida, Mexico is where our client has moved to. And connect that you say you want to do also international business as well. We do real estate in Dubai as well, in the UAE. For working with us at Ella, what were your biggest concerns or uncertainties, I would say, before looking internationally? I know you've traveled before. I know you've been to Mexico. Was there anything that was, making you feel a little bit insecure? So, for example, timing, any policy changes, any future immigration costs that played a role to make your decision to do it?
There are many things that I've thought about that I think are problematic. The political situation it's a big one. Relations between the U.S. and Mexico. That's always a concern. Where to be safe. I want to have a family there. I want to make sure that they are safe. That's very, very important. Other concerns, making sure that I don't have intestinal virus. And I think everybody knows about it as touristas. When you go there, it's going to be a problem. So you have to have clean water, and you have to be sure that you can have food that's safe. Those are the concerns that I've had.
And what would you say made you make the decision to say, I'm going to go and work with this lovely company?
I thought of a number of places to be, and Mexico seemed the most convenient. Also, my family can get there easily to visit me. I can get back and forth to the States. It's very simple. That's absolutely critical for me. It's a, and also the cost is lower than most other places, which is certainly a big help.
For sure. And I always tell my clients, it's not cheap, it's affordable. So there's a key relative word used there. With us at Experts Living Abroad, Ella, how did you first come across our company and what was motivation to move forward with working our team instead of navigating this whole process by yourself or with your family?
Well, it's a little bit confusing trying to do it by yourself, and you don't know whether your decisions are correct or not. So even if you do it yourself, you're still going to have somebody you're going to have to ask questions of and make sure. It's a major move. It's a major thing. When you move your family and commit them to a country, you have to feel comfortable. So this was the reason for finding your company, looking to find some place that had expertise, experience, number of people who've used before. So I think that's probably the criteria.
That's great to know. And also, we do a very bespoke sort of relocation service support, one-on-one, end-to-end relocation support. Can you describe how our team and everyone who you works with us, uh, consular phase interviews at Link to Mexico, how did you feel that support was for you?
Well, so far it's been gone very, very smoothly. The advice that I got was accurate, and it went very well. Getting my visa. We'll see what happens as we go forward because there's still a lot left to be done.
Yeah.
But I'm quite confident. I don't expect any problems.
Great. Thank you for the support and the trust as well. And like you said, we still have to get your family here. So that's the next process to do. And there's quite a bit, but hopefully all goes well. Like we always do, seamless work. For trusting us in that level. Tell us about our execution and also on the ground service. or people underestimate the complexity of immigration logistics in any country, right? What stood out to you about our service so far and how we handled your process step by step?
Well, communication has been very easy. We've been able to get answers to questions, and it didn't have many questions actually because they were answered by you, which it really helped. Often you don't know what questions to ask, but I think that the experience that you've had has been a tremendous help.
For that, Kenneth. I appreciate the support, and also again, thank you for the kind words. I mean, we do time and show expertise and want our clients to feel very safe and to feel very secure, and also feel like they don't have to stress a lot because I know the whole process is quite stressful. So we try and reduce that for you. Um, Moments when you realized how different your experience would have been if you didn't have any support at all?
No, I never had that experience. So far, that hasn't happened. I felt that I had the ability to get the information that I needed at any time. So it's been a fine experience so far. Looking forward to actually being there and having that opportunity to experience what we've been expecting and what we've been told.
Oh, and immigration and building the future. So let's talk about relocation. Does not stop at residency, of course. Is there any long-term plan that you're looking to work with us? I know we were looking for, securing a long-term property for you guys. Are you looking forward to that so far? How do you feel, the service has gone with us? Do you feel supported? Tell the viewers and one of our clients to feel, be honest. This is a real life experience with our company, and I want you to showcase yourself.
Well, I don't know what the future will hold. I don't know for sure where we will ultimately wind up if we decide that Mexico is a permanent place or whether it's a stepping stone. It may very well be. It may wind up in Europe. There are other places to be. But the 10-year-old has to be educated, and we want to see how that goes. That's the one that I worry about, to make sure that the education is good. She's very, very bright. She's a top math student, but I want to be sure that she has the support in the schools and see how the relationships go and how she does with making friends.
Yes. And I think 10 years old is a very good age for any child to assimilate. And I feel like adults, we take longer to learn the language and assimilate and make friends. I think it's a really nice age to assimilate and get into school and learn Spanish. And I think that's going to make her very, very worldly. You did say she's very good at math. So I believe she's definitely going to make friends and be able to learn Spanish. And her analytical skills will also develop as well. Personal reflections and looking back, what has this journey so far taught you about yourself?
But we're talking about the journey with on the trip to Mexico or in the past.
In general, so you're like looking back in hindsight so far, learned so far, like going to the interview, in the plate. Were you in that stuck out to you? Did you learn any patience? Did you learn how to be more, because it's a different system, right? Mexico's a different immigration system altogether.
Well, I don't find it particularly strange because I live in Texas, and about half of my staff are from Mexico. So I'm familiar with the customs, and I've been to Mexico many times. So I didn't find anything strange or anything that different or anything that I didn't expect. In dealing with consulate, I found them to be helpful. I found that being prepared was a tremendous help. You have to be prepared with answers to questions, and very often the documents that you bring may not be complete. So you just have to be very careful to be sure that you do have those. Otherwise, it's my understanding, it didn't happen to me, but it could be sent away and told to come back another day and bring whatever you need. You need original signatures on things. You need to make sure that you have accurate, correct, and that your forms are filled out. You don't fill in the blanks improperly. And because I'm an immigration lawyer, I've dealt with that before, so it's not new to me. I know that the taking care is really critical.
And thank you for saying that. As an immigration lawyer, you realize, it's for a process, but you also seek guidance from us, regardless, right?
Yes.
Advice for future creators, right? What would you say for someone right now who's looking to consider to move abroad, whether it's be Mexico or any other country out there in 26, feels overwhelmed by immigration rules, about making real estate decisions, or even financial planning? What would be your, advice for them? And in your opinion, What is the biggest mistake people make when trying to relocate abroad without professional guidance?
Well, the biggest mistake would be you don't understand what you. It's just getting lost. The feeling that you don't know what you're doing, that you're not sure that what you're doing is accurate and correct, and that you might wind up doing something that might be damaging to your future. And having advice is normally a huge help there, and knowing that the advice can be trusted. So I found it's very very reassuring.
And what would you say to someone who's looking to move abroad in this year, 2026, and they're looking and feeling very overwhelmed? Would you tell them to
I'd
go ahead?
be very careful. This 2026 is especially right now with what's happening in the rest of the world. It's not only frustrating, but it's confusing. And trying to decide what's safe and what isn't is very difficult. You have to be careful. I think that's where the advice from where you're that's always a major concern.
Found this video helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with your expert journey, digital nomad circle, and community alike. Thank you again, Kenneth, for joining us today with your relocation story. A question or thoughts on this topic, drop them in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. If you're to move abroad to Mexico or any other abroad or need help navigating life abroad responsibly, please visit us on our website at www.expertslivingabroad.com/contact. We offer bespoke relocation support that puts your community first. You can also find us on Instagram and LinkedIn for current affairs and Expat Live updates, and also live Q&As. Until next time, stay thoughtful, stay kind, and live well wherever you are in the world. Remember, being an expert as an expert means living better abroad. Peace.